Good morning. Well, this is the final of my 4 thoughts for the day over the August bank holiday. I'm going to turn to a story which I've talked about no end over the years. It's the story where Jesus meets the woman at the well. She's a Samaritan, he's a Jew. There's conflict between the two. She's a woman, he's a man, he shouldn't be meeting her on his own. And she's lived a life which is questionable in Jesus' eyes. So she has to go to the well in the middle of the day to fetch water to avoid everybody else. Jesus goes and plonks himself on top of the lid, so he's completely in the way. He asks her for a drink. And they get into a conversation. And then he tells her he knows what her life has been. And he offers her a different way. Now, she doesn't really understand what he's offering her, I don't think. But maybe she's so desperate to change that she just accepts that there is something in what this man says. And he offers her a new way of life. And she says, well, give me this water so I can drink it. Well, it's not the water from the well, it's a completely different water. It's a way of being cleansed, it's a way of being pure. Now, I'm sure Jesus doesn't expect her to turn herself completely around and never get anything wrong again. And I don't think he expects that of us either. But he asks her to commit. Now again, as I said the other day, we don't know whether she really does commit or not. But at this point, she's so intrigued by what he's got to say. She's so thoughtful of how her life might change that she says, oh, okay then. And then she does something else. She invites him back to the village. Now, remember, she's the one that's been keeping out of the way. She knows what other people think of her. She knows what the others say about her behind her back. But powered by this person, she goes back with him and she says to them, this man has told me all the things I've done wrong. And as a result, she must realise that those things weren't right. And presumably she makes a decision at that point that she's going to do something about it. Now the story could just stop there. But what's more remarkable to me is some more that we don't know about. Because Jesus went back with the woman to the village, and it says that through that going back, he stayed and many others came to know him. So it wasn't that people came to know him through the good and the righteous in this case. It was what in the old days we'd have called a sinner. So if we think that our churches perhaps could have more people in them and we're not good enough to try and fill them up, well, that doesn't seem quite the case, does it, when you read this? Church isn't all about getting people into the building, to me. But it's how we interact with other people. It's how we show ourselves to them. And it's the seeds that we sow. And this woman just shows us that anybody can sow those seeds. Well, that's me done for my 4 days. And no doubt I'll be back with you again quite shortly. Goodbye.